Hello everyone, hi. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is very relevant at the time, and that is Indian elections. As you all know, Indian elections are going on, and I feel that it is very important for voters to know how elections go on and how politicians behave during election time, and what is election, what are the process that goes behind it. The book that I'm going to be talking about is called How to Win an Indian Election, What Political Parties Don't Want You to Know, by Shivam Shankar Singh. Now Shivam is a data analyst. He also used to be an election campaign consultant. He's also worked with Prashant Kishore at IPAC, and this book is about his experience when he used to work as a consultant for BJP, and how he has used data and technology and to garner votes, to persuade voters, to build a narrative. This book is an amazing, brilliant, interesting book, and it really opens your eyes to what is actually going on behind the scene. The book is divided into 7 chapters, each chapter dealing with its own topic. Now, the first chapter talks about how he got into this business of being an election consultant. The other chapters talk about the tools that are used by consultants to manipulate voters. So, yes, I'll use the book for reference. The second chapter is titled as The Political Consultant, and it talks about how you have to create a buzz, then you have to build a brand out of that buzz, then how you have to keep bombarding the public with the messages and stuff it into their memory, how money matters in politics and in campaigning. So there are certain lines that I found really interesting, and I would like to quote them. One is, the value of short and memorable messaging can't be underestimated in politics. There's one more, and that is, observing the role of cash in politics changed my option of corruption. Corruption is as much a consequence of voters' temperament as it is of the greed of politicians. The third chapter is technology and data, and it talks about how the consultants, the party workers, how they analyze the constituencies, how they do surveys and understand the mind of the voters, how they then use that data in order to make a slogan that will be edged into the voters' mind, and how they use Facebook and WhatsApp to manipulate and to build a narrative of the users. So it also talks about how WhatsApp is a more convenient source to manipulate users. It is scary and also interesting at the same time. Moving on to the fourth chapter. The fourth chapter is fake news and propaganda. Now this talks about how our existing biases are targeted and they are fueled, and how a fake narrative is set up so that fear is built up, and how the media fuels that fear in order to build an image in your mind, to build an enemy in your mind that is not there, and how to manipulate you using that fear. It also talks about how these media houses are controlled and are also owned by corporates or the people who are somewhat aligned to the existing party. So that was the fourth chapter. Moving on to the fifth chapter. The fifth chapter deals with winning an election. Now this talks about the hierarchy system and how the leaders at the top and the ones at the bottom have to suck up to the leader just to get somewhere, just to be recognized. This can be dangerous, but it is also used in order to discipline a party, but too much of anything is bad, and how that is also something that affects a party. Then it also talks about how these leaders use identity politics, and they gather up voter banks and they rely on them to win elections, and how you build an enemy. Again, you have to build one enemy, and you have to make the public fear that enemy so that they keep voting for you, and that's how you win. Now, the sixth chapter is understanding the system. Now, this deals with the cost of election and how election requires money. Running an election and campaign requires money, and how these money are given by corporates and other wealthy elites, and how you have to pay back in certain way or form. You might know something about electoral bonds. It was recently all over the news, and you can see how many companies and corporates have given money to different political parties, and yes, how it also somehow places some kind of allegiance and obligations of the parties to do something for those who are giving them money. Absolutely. So yes, this was the sixth chapter. Now the seventh chapter, I am currently still on it. I am about to complete this book, but I really thought that I need to share this. I needed to talk about these things because there are some people out there who think that political parties are there to be worshipped, politicians are there to be worshipped, but they fail to understand that this whole system was built for you and I, and we are the ones who need to see whether it's functioning properly or not, for our good, not so that we can be manipulated for the welfare of the politicians, right? So yes, I thought that this needed to be talked about and shared. I hope you enjoyed the video. So yes, please do read this book. It is a brilliant, eye-opening book, and the language is really easy. It is very comprehensible, and it's also gripping. It's a non-fiction that is so well written that it makes you want to read more and more. It's written in a very interesting manner. Plus, I would recommend it especially to those people who consider themselves as apolitical. I would like to finish the video saying few lines from the book itself, and that would be even though the lives of everyone living in a democratic country are constantly impacted by politics, very few understand how it functions and how politicians succeed or fail. To paraphrase one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, the key to any good democracy is a well-informed electorate. So with this, I finish my video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you read it. Take care of yourself. Bye.